And we are back, and we just finished watching 2021's The Sadness. This one's rated TVMA and clocks in at 1 hour and 39 minutes. We caught this on the Hoopla app, but it's also to stream on AMC Plus and a buy rent on Prime Video. This comes to us from writer-director Rob Jabbaz. And according to the IMDb blurb, a young couple trying to reunite amid a city ravaged by a plague that turns its victims into deranged, bloodthirsty sadists. That's not the only thing it's doing to them. I think this said it was a Shudder original, and I gotta be honest, this was not my favorite watch in spooky season. I feel like if they had stuck to one of the themes here, it would have been okay. Well, maybe not okay, but if they had just stuck with what IMDb says about victims falling to a virus that makes them deranged and bloodthirsty sadists, that would have been fine. But there's like an added layer to this story. I don't want to go into it because I don't think I have anything good to say about this film. I think we both laughed at a head exploding, and then after that, it was sort of taxing to get through this, even though it's a short film.
This is a hard film to watch.
Yeah.
If there's something that can have a trigger warning, this film is using that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really unpleasant things happening in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's not
necessary.
It's not necessary. It's not shied away from.
Yeah.
I could have done without a lot of that stuff. Like you mentioned, the only thing I found enjoyment was the president getting his head blown up. The president, I guess, what is it, Taiwan or Formosa?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell.
I think Taiwan.
But
although I think certain countries don't recognize Taiwan.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to start.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's about.
Yeah,
if anyone's offended by this, sorry. I'm a dumb American. I don't know. They don't teach us that in school. And our news certainly doesn't reflect any of this.
Let's move on. We don't have to discuss world affairs. Geopolitics, yeah. This is not that type of thought-provoking film.
No. So I guess we can spoil this. So
apparently
there's a virus that makes people crazy, but apparently the virus is also, it's sort of like a rabies thing where it makes you crazy, like bloodthirsty asshole, but also a rapist. Because
it makes you like super horny.
Yeah.
And it's basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to make a play on coronavirus.
Yes.
And say that, okay, well, now that it's gone dormant or now that it's become sort of run of the mill and nobody cares about it anymore, there was one guy on TV who's like, no, you don't understand. Inside of this virus, there are protein strands from rabies, and at any moment it could suddenly mutate and turn people into maniacs. And yeah, guess what? That's exactly what happens. People just become maniacs. And the story that we're supposed to be following is a guy and his girlfriend.
Jim and Kat.
Jim drops Kat off for work or drops her off at the train station. She hops on the train to go to work. Goes into some place and tries to get some breakfast. And all hell breaks loose. People are getting hot oil thrown on them and their skin ripped off and they're stabbed to death and their heads caved in and all sorts of chaos. And on top of that, it's not like as though they're just, it's not like 28 Days where they're just mindless. They're like, they're capable of doing everything that normal people are capable of. They're capable of shooting guns and driving cars and doing all sorts of stuff.
And speaking coherently.
And saying the most horrible things.
Yeah.
And this film doesn't shy away with the blood. I mean, there are gallons of blood in this movie. Just gallons and gallons and gallons. If you like that, maybe you'll like this. To me, it felt very similar to like really bad 80s gore movies.
Kind of. I can see
where
that
where
comparison.
they would just shoehorn sex in there, and it was just like gratuitous and unnecessary and clearly targeted for angry, horny young boys. And I don't see how that plays in this day and age. I mean, there are angry, horny young boys out there, so maybe this has a big market amongst the incels. But for somebody who's just looking for a good, scary, creepy horror movie with, if you like splatter stuff, I like splatter stuff. I laughed hysterically when the guy's head got blown up, but this is just too goddamn much.
Yeah,
There's just too much going on. When you're having like an orgy and everybody's covered in blood and entrails, it's just like, okay, I would like to check out now.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually wanted to check out of this sooner, but you said we committed, and so we had to power through. But this was not my favorite watch. I think of all the films we've seen so far, this is my least favorite. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm just going to give this a 3.
I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3
maybe even
as
a
well.
2. I just...
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what? I'll give it a 2 as well.
Yeah, it was just too damn much. I think that if they had stuck with one instead of both, it might have been better. To your point, I think you mentioned that like it wasn't the blood; it was just this extra layer of depravity that happens in the story.
Yeah.
That's really, it doesn't really add to the story. And
no,
if
not
anything,
at all.
It makes it really unsettling, and then not in a fun, creepy, psychological way either.
Yeah, it's just disturbing and upsetting and unnecessary.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, well, you had some great performances and amazing characters. No, there's none of that in here. Absolutely none of that. It's just, it's terrible. It's legitimately terrible.
But you know what's not terrible? Supporting St. Jude's. Please support my friend KT, who's raising funds for St. Jude. And we'll drop that link in the blurb. But I think the less said about this film, the better. So
skip this.
Is the only advice that we can give you. There is way better stuff to watch. This is not it. I'm a little disappointed because we were doing our Asian horror cinema kind of picks. I think everybody will be pleasantly surprised with tomorrow's, but tonight's is not a good fit.
Consider this review just a warning to just not.
Yeah.
If you pass by this on the Hoopla app, just keep going.
Just keep going. And I think to your point, I think you know what? The less said, the better. Support St. Jude's and come back tomorrow for another review. And with that, I'd like to remind everyone to please like, share, and subscribe. If you have comments about this film, sure, tell us in the comments because it's not the internet unless somebody's complaining. So you tell us why we're wrong.
Tell us why we're a bunch of pussies.
You have an opinion about it. Throw it in the comments. Yeah. And with that, we'll wrap it up, and we'll bid you all a
good night.
Good night.